Welcome to the Oiler recap, and the Oilers in an absolute battle, what you would define a rivalry game as, 4 overtimes, but unfortunately the Oilers come up a little bit short, 37-35 the final, Ashland over Finley. And Coach, I want to start there. It had everything that you'd want a rivalry game to have, except for not getting the win at the end.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really physical contest on both sides. I think there's a good level of respect amongst both these programs for who they are and the way that they play football in all three phases. And it certainly was all that and then some in regards to a rivalry game. Hats off to them as, they made one more play at some point during the game to finish it off.
Well, hats off to your team as well, Coach, as you guys actually found yourselves down 14-0 with 12:34 left in the second, but you guys never hung your head. You just battled back and then answered back to tie it up at the half.
Yeah, I was really proud of that. We didn't talk about the history of playing in that stadium with our guys. Last time we played there was 2016, but in the early going, it appeared to those that have been around during those times that a similar script was going to unfold. But the resolve of our guys is strong, and we kept fighting and found ourselves in a position where we were able to take the lead and really go toe to toe and trade punches all through that second half.
Your senior quarterback continues to evolve, continues to develop and strengthen his game. 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and made several key plays throughout the game that either kept your team around or, on a couple cases, put your team in front.
Alec Bornhorst is a winner. He's a winner on the football field. He's a winner in life. He's one of the finest young men that I've ever had the privilege to coach or get to know, and we're certainly so glad that he came into our program after graduating from Miami of Ohio 2 years ago, and we're glad that he's a leader of our football team in 2023.
We'll talk about another guy who kind of came in and took a leadership role and had a dominant day. 10 catches, 174 yards for Cam Childers, and I was calling him Clutch Childers there for a while. He just seemed to make play after play today.
Yeah, Cam's a heck of a football player, and he's somebody that when he decided, and again, you talk about those two guys, Cam transferred to us from Purdue, but it was in kind of a more traditional way, i.e., he graduated, he got his degree from Purdue, and wanted to go find a place where he'd have an opportunity maybe to play a little bit more football. And Finley, we had him as our top receiver on the board 4 years prior, and visited him here at the University of Finley, and he chose to go to Purdue. But when it came, when it circled back around, I picked my phone up and I saw I had his number in my phone, and my last text to him was from 4 years prior. So we're certainly glad that he found his way back here and came up with some really big plays and some big moments.
Your two-headed running back, solid again, and led by Brian Benson's 99 yards. He's now the 5th all-time leading rusher at University of Finley, and of course, as we already know, the leading GMAC rusher for career yardage as well, and another guy who just kept on stepping up throughout the day.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Brian as much as anybody. That was a bit of a homecoming. He played right down the road for the TY Tigers of Mansfield, and had a lot of folks in the stands. The head coach at Mansfield Senior, who's a friend, was there along with a lot of Brian's family, and he certainly ran hard all day, as did Garrett Clark. And anytime against a good defense, you put up over 200 yards on the ground. You're doing some good things. And like I said, it was very physical in the trenches.
Well, defense was where I was going next. A lot of people had this billed as a defensive struggle. You guys giving up just a total of 12 points over the last several games. They're only averaging giving up, I think, 13 points a game, something along those lines. And the defenses did make some plays today on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I think if stats can sometimes lie to you, and we know at the end of the day there's only one that matters, and that's the final score. our rush defense was stout again. I mean, they have an outstanding tailback, several of them there, and we held their yards per carry way down. We tackled back. We tackled violently. I think there was one explosive run on the day. So I was really pleased with that, and we were physical out there. And again, like I said, at the end of the day, it's the final score is the only thing that matters.
Well, let's kind of wind it down here a little bit, Coach, and let's talk about you guys. Unfortunately, the field goal gets blocked. That sends you to overtime, and you guys, each team ends up with a field goal at the end of the first one, and then the second one, you both get touchdowns, and everybody has to go for two, and both defenses came up with stops there. And then you take it to the sudden death going on the 2-point conversions. What were you thinking as you guys headed into that part of it?
I was thinking it's a terrible rule change by the NCAA. I'm not a fan of it. Obviously, and I would tell you the same thing if we came out on top. You got two teams that battle their tails off for 60 minutes. You start with a first overtime where the ball gets put on the 25, which I am a fan of. I like college football overtime the way it was in the past. But then it's just, hey, let's hurry this thing up and get out of here. Declare a winner. I'm not a fan of the way that set is set up. I don't like it. I think it cheapens the game when both sides have battled their absolute tails off to get to that point. And what it does is it gets into a lot of gimmicks and different things of that nature, and I'm not a fan of it. That's what I was thinking after the fact. What I was thinking during it is, we had multiple opportunities to make plays, and our kids played their hearts out on both sides of the ball. And when there's only 3 yards to go, the margin for error is so slim.
Finish off this season next week at home against the Tiffin Dragons. It certainly doesn't have all of the same implications, but anytime it's the Dragons and the Oilers, it gets everybody's full attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's any love lost between those two teams. And again, I think that's what a good rivalry is about. Just up the road on just up 224, there's a good football team, and they're going to make their trip down here, and we are going to go back at it and prepare to the best of our ability to go play a football game next Saturday with a group of seniors playing in their final game. We want to send them out the right way.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We know it's not always easy after a game like that, but still an outstanding effort by you and the team, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Go Oilers.
Go Oilers, and you've been listening to Oiler Wrap-Up, a service of University of Findlay.